We are human beings, not human doings. This is a misconstrued view of who we are and why we are here on earth. Every plant, everything that lives just bees. A plant, a tree, a seed does not force its way to grow. It just grows by the nutrients and the things that are given to it. You are the same way. Your soul is the same way. And often, why we're not growing or why things aren't going the ways that we think they're supposed to go is because we're trying to make things happen in our own strength rather than just being and allowing things to happen and take their course. Here's the reality. Here's the truth is you can't change things. You can't force things to happen. You can't muster something up. Yes, you can work towards things and work towards what you're trying to do. I'm not saying that's not a good thing, As a seed or a plant gets nutrients, it does grow. But if you are forcing growth, if you are forcing things to happen, they probably, one, won't happen, and two, you'll never be satisfied because your goal is the finite thing of gaining of this world rather than finding the truth of the soul, which is utmost wisdom. That's what the book of Proverbs says is the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. And so when we humble ourselves, when we give up what we know and just be, that is where we find wisdom. That's where we find peace. So, you were made for peace. You were made to have peace. You were made to grow in peace. It's not about striving. It's not about doing. You're not a human doer. You're a human being. You were made to be, do, have. That's how it works, is you have to be first. You must become aware of who you are, whose you are, and why you're here. So tonight, just sit and ask yourself, why are we here? Why are we being? Why does half of our life revolve around being and not doing? We sleep so much of our life. And then we act like it's in our own strength or our own will. I want to ease your mind and your soul for a bit. It's not in your own strength. It's not in your own will. It's not anything that you can muster up or figure out or anything. You just got to trust that God is God and that you are not, and just be. Allow God to speak to your soul. Allow God to show you his thoughts, because he's the one that has more thoughts of you than sand on the shore. And so you gotta stop trying to do everything. Jesus did the work on the cross. I'm not saying that we're not supposed to do good things. I'm not saying that we can just go live our life in sin, because that is inherently us trying to do as well. Us choosing sin often goes straight in direct correlation with us wanting attention in the wrong way. Because we choose sin to gain attention when we don't realize that God has more thoughts of us than sand on the shore. And so we try to do. We try to work. We try to figure things out on our own. And I'm here tonight to free your mind. It's not about you trying to figure it out. It's not about you trying to do more to earn God's approval, to earn man's approval. It is about you being human and experiencing life to the fullness thereof. The way to experience life to the fullness thereof is to become aware. Most people go throughout their whole life slaves to work, to money, to pride, and lust. They're never actually aware of the beauty of life. They never actually see the world for what it is and what God painted it to be. They sit in their boxes, they go home, and they watch a box for the rest of their night. They don't think for themselves. To be is to think. And most of humanity has lost sight of thinking. That's why they're anxious. It's because they don't just allow thoughts to flow like a river to its bay, to the lake below. They force things to happen. They force life to go forward. When life is already going to go forward no matter what you choose. That's the beauty. Is it's not something that you can control. It's not something you were made to control. It's something you are made to just experience. It's a friend. Be a human being. Just be. Become aware of your surroundings. Look at the trees. Look at the water. Watch the sunset every day. Watch the sunrise every day. Experience the universe that is in front of us, because it will teach you something about yourself. Everything is connected. Everything is one, together, created, all together. And so we can learn from the things around us. Just breathe. Allow yourself to be. And don't lose sight of who you are. If you don't know who you are, the greatest way to find yourself is to sit in silence and allow God to speak his thoughts over you. Because he has more thoughts of you than sand on the shore. And he loves you more than anything else. He loves you more than you could love yourself, more than you could love anyone. And he just wants to lavish you in that. That's what being is acknowledging the beauty and majesty and magnificence of what God has created. And so just be. Just experience life. You've been given today for a reason. And it's a beautiful reason, because you're here and you're breathing. So I don't know what's happening in your life. I can't give you a formula of how to succeed in the world's eyes, but I can give you a formula to actually have peace. It is just being. It is experiencing every day for what it is and finding the joy and beauty and majesty in all that's around. You are made to be, not do. Stop trying to figure everything out by all of your doing and just be. That is who you are, a human being, not a human doing.